बट निसान ने हमें धोखा दिया।
निसान ने कंफर्म तो किया था ना शूट।
अबे कंफर्म किया था, अब बोल रहा है कि नहीं नहीं मत लो गाड़ी मत लो, मेरे पास गाड़ी नहीं है, ये नहीं है वो नहीं है।
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to review a car which has been the number one confusion in the Indian market. The Nissan Duster or the Renault
The
Tekton.
Renault Duster.
The Nissan Tekton. We are confused as well because they have been doing this before. Nissan and Renault are together. We had the Duster and we had the Terrano first, but now we have the Duster and we have the new Nissan Tekton.
So the Tekton is basically a baby version of the Nissan Petrol, which is obviously the biggest SUV that Nissan puts out. You'll see a lot of the petrols in
We also call it Nissan Ethanol because it's an Indian market petrol.
But I think with the launch of this car, it's going to give a very tough competition to the segment where Creta and Brezza and the Grand Vitara and all these other cars also exist. So I think it's an exciting car. We've seen the car a little bit from the outside. It looks much more muscular from the front. Let's quickly go in and show you how the car looks from outside. We'll also do a test drive of the vehicle. We'll give you the pricing of the car. We'll also talk about EMIs, warranty, service and the rest. So watch the video till the end.
So first impressions of the car, we've already done the Renault Duster and it's pretty much the same thing from the outside. There are some feature changes which the new Duster has, launched it. But the time when we covered Duster, they did not have an ADAS level 2. So you can see all the sensors right here. You have your ADAS level 2 sensors and your camera as well. It has a massive Nissan badging. I don't think it's illuminated, but it would be a plus if it was. You have your face. You have a massive Tekton badging over here. Good amount of body lines. The same DRL setup from the Duster. It has a very good and very nicely concealed fog lamps, if you can see here. It's quite hidden and quite made well. Aerodynamic system over here, little bit functional, not that applicable. The side panels again, it's been copied from the Duster. You have the same thing again. It's a shared car. They share the same platform, and this car's platform is going to be shared in a lot of cars in the future. So in this chassis and platform, you might get an electric vehicle, you might get a hybrid vehicle, and you might have a lot of different vehicles coming in. Now the quality of the car, we say that could be heard from the thud of the car. So quite soft, quite good. You have the roof lines over here as well. These roof rails are functional and not functional, sorry, my bad. They're not functional. Actually, it's also written in Japanese and in English that do not load. So these are just for, aesthetic purposes as well. So now the tire profile over here is quite huge. It's 225 and R18 rim. So this car is a little bit more lifted than the Renault Duster. Same platform, same car, but the car is a bit more lifted to, have some uniqueness to the market. It has a shark fin antenna as well. Insulated back glass, and you also have a rear wiper and a concealed squirter as well. Nissan badging over here too. Again, this could have been illuminated and finishing seems a bit off, but it's fine. And if you can come here, this looks really amazing. There's a Nissan badging on the rear tail light. It adds a lot of premiumness and it looks really great. It gives a more sporty look to it. So this is, a carbon kind of a look, but it's not real carbon, but it actually gives a good sports car look feel to it. Then you have the Tekton badging over here, and this car comes with a one-touch button. So now moving to the boot space is really high in this one now. It has 500 liters plus boot space. Also, it's more expandable if you fold the seats. This car comes with a full spare wheel, which you don't see in cars nowadays. To cut costs, they just give you a tire inflator kit. So you have all the goods in this. And let's see how much time it takes. Yeah, the animation is quite fluid for this as well. Now you have your sensors over back as well. So this car comes with an ADAS level 2 and the new Duster still comes with a level 1. So you have 17 features in this car, which is much higher than the Duster. Therefore the price is a bit more higher. But I think the Nissan badging does wonders as well. Now you have this mountains over here, which is like an Easter egg what Tata does. So to give a nod to their off-road, off-road capabilities and the off-road heritage, they've kept this design over here as well. So this is Top 160. I don't understand why they have the badging like this. Could have been more creative with the name changes over there, given that it's a Japanese car and it has Japanese heritage to it. they could have given it a more, when you have cars like a GTR, when you have cars like a Skyline R, they have so many creative names, so that could have been worked upon as well. But it has a good sporty look as well. I really like how the profile of the car is. They've added to the heritage of Nissan. This car has a 50-liter fuel tank, and they have added premiumness to the fuel tank as well. They've not cut any corners, they've not cut any cords. Now this is only up to E20 petrol, so you have to think about your purchase, because you never know the situation going around now with ethanol blended fuel. And yeah, so it's quite strictly mentioned that this car is only E20 compliant. So I think we have to follow that, and we not mess around with the car as it has its own problems and damages. One more difference between the Duster and the Tekton is that the door handles. Now the door handles in the C-pillar were just normal, but like a normal car, but over here you have it on a window mount setup. Wow. Again, it's quite handy. The door doesn't feel much heavy, and it has the HUD as well. So now you just pop the hood, and this is how the car looks like. It comes with a 3-cylinder 1-liter turbo engine, and the setup is quite clean, although the wires are quite exposed, so that could have been worked upon as well. I mean, it looks like a jumble of wires. This reminds me of an old Fiat Palio where you see a bunch of wires coming in. Insulation is good. The setup is good as well. They've strictly mentioned no pressure washing the engine bay, which people actually make issues over that. So never use a pressure washer in an engine bay. You never know how it can damage a battery and internal and electrical components as well.
Now that Yash has told you and showed you about the external features of the car, let me take you quickly through the interior of the car. As soon as you open the car, you're welcomed by this beautiful dual finish material here, and this is a little bit of a burgundy purple color, and this is more like an off-white grey color. It also gets this beautiful insert of gold or bronze, if you may put it like that. It gets very nice buttons over here, and they seem to be pretty high quality as well, but it gets soft padding across, so it's quite premium. It also gets this ambient light on the inside. You also get storage space over here, and I think you can easily store 1-liter bottles here very, very easily. Now, when you move ahead from the door, you get electronically adjusted seats for the driver and the front passenger, and you also get a 6-way adjustable seat option here. These obviously are ventilated, similar to how the Duster seats were. And again, the tone of this light beige grey sort of material with burgundy purple continues even on the interiors. Now that you enter the Nissan Tekton, the interiors are very similar to the one of the Duster, but then obviously you get Nissan badging. That gold bronze sort of element continues even on the steering wheel, which really gives it a very premium look. The music system over here is a single screen unit, and then you get an odometer, which is again digital, but the music system, like the Duster, is facing the driver and not flat or facing away from the driver, so that's very easy to navigate if you're sitting inside. You get 6 airbags in this car, which makes it a very safe car to be in. So with the music system facing the driver, it makes it much more easy to use even when you're driving the car. Now, coming towards the passenger side of the vehicle, you again see this burgundy and beige treatment running across with some ambient lighting options here. So this small element here on the dashboard actually has some significance. This is basically 2 and 3. In Japanese, 2 and 3 is called ni and san. So that's a small detail over here, which is absolutely beautiful. When you go a little lower, you get a glove box here, and this is okay. It's supported by this fabric, and it's open on the other side. It could have been closed, but it's quite deep, so you can see my hands going all the way in. And you also get the fuse box over here. So this is something that Nissan and Dusters have been doing, or Renault has been doing since a very long time. So coming to the steering design, it's identical to the Duster. It also gets cruise control buttons on the left, and it gets your normal buttons to pick up calls and other functions that you can run. Now, this screen seems to be like a 9 or 10 inch screen, again very similar to the Duster, and it gets all features here quite fluidic and quite responsive, so you can do Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, and both of them are wireless. And of course you can choose among media options, pick up calls, and you also get something where you can change the modes of the car. Now, when we drive this car, we'll talk about it, but this car doesn't get a race mode, so that's a miss on the Nissan Tekton. Otherwise, you can actually go and see the 360-degree camera and the rest of it. So right now it's not working, but we'll show it to you once we are driving the car. So overall, it's a good system. It gives you everything that you need, and again, we're very happy that there's no third unnecessary screen in this car. Now you get AC vents and they're quite nicely designed. It actually reminds me of the Lamborghini, even on the left and the right side of the driver. And then when you come down, you get very nice buttons here, which is a very good feature. You get a traditional charging option 12-volt socket here. You get two C-port chargers. You get some more space to keep stuff, and you get a very nice, solid, compact sort of a gear lever here. This actually reminds you of the original Japanese JDM design. So it's really solid, nice quality here. When you move back a little bit, you also get storage space over here, but it's very minimal, and you get some more open spaces over here, which you can store water or coffee or whatever you want. Now, coming to the rear side of the Nissan Tekton, you can see that the car is quite tall. I'm tall, so it's not going to be much of an issue for me to get into the car, but I'm sure shorter passengers will have an issue. And this is the actual struggle for me. So I'm above 6 feet tall. The seat is set to my seating adjustment in the front, and you can see there's barely any space for me at the back. So at best, this car would seat about 2 people at the back, maybe a kid as a third option. You also get a center armrest, you get a headrest for the center passenger, and overall the same treatment runs through, in terms of the burgundy purple and the grey beige pattern. So now coming to the EMI of this car, so let's take the lowest version of the Tekton as an example. So the ex-showroom of the lowest version is 10.49 lakhs. Now you'll add taxes, insurance and other details at about say 2.5 lakhs, which brings the on-road price to about 13 lakh rupees. Now the scheme that they have at Nissan is that you need to pay a down payment of only 10%. So that is 1.3 lakh rupees and the rest becomes an EMI. Now 13 lakhs minus 1.3 lakhs becomes minus 1.3 becomes 11 lakh 70,000, which would be your loan amount. Now 11 lakh 70,000 will be a loan amount, and for 5 years you will have to pay only 2,100 rupees per lakh. So that comes to a EMI of 24,570 rupees is all that you need to pay to buy the new Nissan Tekton, plus of course 10% down payment. This is how the key is. It's again very similar to the Renault Duster's key. You get very basic functions here: unlock, lock. This is to start the light of the car, and this is to open the boot. So this is the quality of the reverse camera in the car, and honestly this could be much better. You'll see a lot of blurriness around the rear camera, and even this is not very accurate. Again, you'll see it on the left side and you'll see it on the top version as well. So you'll see it's not very well defined, and definitely Nissan could have done a much better job in terms of improving the quality of this camera. There you go. Now again, this is now the automatic version of the car. So you'll see a very similar gear lever over here like the Duster, and without wasting any more time, let's start driving. So now we are driving the new Nissan Tekton, and this, like we showed you at the start, is the automatic version of the car. You're seated quite high in the car and you'll hear all the alerts going on and off because that's the number of sensors that this car has. When you're driving, I think the whole feel is that you're sitting quite high, and there is a little bit of body roll that we can feel when we are going through the rough patches of the road. And we're going to get a very quick test drive on this vehicle because of there are people who are waiting at the showroom who want to drive the car. From a pickup perspective, it's quite nice, quite sturdy. I don't have to really press the throttle too much, and it's quite comfortable to turn as well. You can see how smooth the steering is, and I'm able to turn this big car quite easily. Like I'd shown you in the interior, the music system is really close to my hand, so I don't really need to reach out to any buttons to change anything. Again, very roomy space, and we had talked about the sunroof. So here you go. I'm quickly going to open the sunroof here. This is the blind of the sunroof which comes off first. Really massive sunroof, and you can see all the light that's coming in. We also have Yash and somebody from the showroom inside the car, but this really adds to the entire the space and the feel of the car being much bigger. Now that we are driving in the city, the mileage is something which is debatable. We've seen a lot of tests being done on this vehicle, and the mileage is not good. This was the same case with the Renault Duster as well. So you can expect anywhere between say 7 to 10 kilometers per liter when you're driving in the city. Of course, the manual variant might be a little more fuel efficient because it depends on your style of driving. Going over bumps, the suspension feels really good. And just overall, this cabin is really premium. The seats are bucket seats, so you feel very nice and well upholstered inside the seat. You're not bouncing around too much. And to be honest, I think the amount of time we are spending in the car for a test drive is a little less. If we get a chance to drive this on the highway or on a longer distance, I think we'll be able to give you much more information. But over speed bumps in the city, we just went through some potholes. You barely feel it, and that's the beauty of the suspension. Again, very similar to the Renault Duster TNA. Now coming to the pricing of this car, this is slightly more expensive than the Renault Duster. So the price range is higher by 10 to 50,000 depending on the variant you purchase, and the top variant of this vehicle goes in at about 18.5 lakhs ex showroom, which would possibly land at about 22.5 lakhs on road depending on which city you are in. In terms of warranty, this car gets a 1 lakh kilometer and 3-year warranty. But for the initial bookings, and I don't know the exact number, we've not been told that. I think the initial bookings will get a 5-year warranty as a complimentary, complimentary offering from Nissan when you book this car. Should you buy this car? Yes, you should. Or should you buy the Duster? I think if I was spending say 22 lakh rupees, I would definitely give the Duster a little more, choice, or if I had 22 lakh rupees, I would think of the Duster a little more. But because of the service and all the other perks that come with owning a Renault car, but I would definitely give this car a shot because this is much more premium. You can see it, the drive, feel, quality, all of that is very plush. All the fit, build quality is really good, and if you ask me to choose over a Japanese car, that's always going to be a good debate to have. So if you're interested in the Nissan Tekton, it's definitely a car that you should give a thought to. Service centers and the rest are improving as we speak, so Nissan is taking the Indian market a little more seriously. Spare parts and the rest also will be, much better than a car from Europe. So if you like this video, it's a quick test drive, and we try to get a longer one, but there are people waiting to drive the car in the showroom. But if you like this video, please like, share, comment, and if you get a chance to drive this again, we'll put out a detailed review of the video where we'll cover mileage and the rest of it. But overall, this is a good car. You should consider it if you're looking for a compact SUV or a mid-sized SUV and your budget is anywhere between 15 to 22 lakhs. We'll see you in the next one.